Yeah, blessings, everyone. This is Pine Grove News Live, 6:01 p.m. here on the East Coast, and it's high 40s. I don't know, maybe low 50s, but if another, felt like spring day. So spring is in the air, that's for sure. So I hope everyone is doing okay, or at least know that things will be okay. We're going to be okay. The song says. Now, left the music on the last time, but it didn't come through the recording. So, anyways, it worked out. I did check the whole recording this time. Because every once in a while, I don't know why, but get no volume in my YouTube videos. But anyway, all good. All good. Yeah, just something I was talking about with a brother, World Watchman, Northern California. We're talking about food prices. We're talking about the disasters in the middle of our country. Cattle dying, and now I guess grain bins. We're going to get to that article about just a mess the floods came and brought and still are coming in the middle of our country. And they're still talking about Orville Dam and another dam, being right at the peak of its capacity. And I don't know. I don't think the snows in the mountains have melted, that they normally do come springtime. Anyways, we think about those things. I hope we're also thinking about, where it's all going when we're finally done with them. We have the promises of the Lord, these things will not affect us. We're protected under the blood of Jesus Christ. But we're talking about these prices. We got into a conversation about Walmart. Because basically that's where I do most of my grocery shopping. Well, I don't do it. My wife does it. I go once in a while. Cannot stand to go grocery shopping. Of course, I'd rather do that than go other shopping, like clothes shopping. Oh, I dreaded that as a kid. As a, 12-year-old, 10-year-old. Have to go every year before you went to school. Right? We went sometime at the end of August. We're all complaining, yeah. It's too warm out to be thinking about going back to school. I don't want to go shopping. I don't want to go. Yeah, I remember those days, man. And I remember, do you remember the elephant bell bottoms? I mean, they were not just bell bottoms. They were huge. I mean, it's kind of like putting on pants, but the bottom, puffed out so much. I don't know if I ever did put on a dress, it probably would have felt like that. These freaking things were just flopping all over the place. Elephant bell bottoms. Come on, somebody's got to remember. Yeah, and thank God that went out of style real quick, man. Because I had to wear these things my mother bought me. I hated them. But anyway, no, Walmart. We get good deals at Walmart. I mean, the poor, the ones who can't afford the filet mignon, got to go to the Walmart or maybe a Sam's Club and buy in bulk or something like that if we could save up enough. I won't pay for no membership to go to one of those places. They should just be, appreciative of, people coming there to shop. I bought this like an attached row of miniature pretzel and cheese snacks. You rip the cover off, you take the pretzel, dip it in the cheese, and, there's your snack. But we've talked a lot about what's going on in just not just Walmart, but in other stores. contents, being less and the price being more. Just ways and things that they're doing to get more money out of you without saying the word tax, They're just doing it with everything now. And anyway, so, one of these packages, I dipped the pretzel into the cheese, and the cheese did not move too well. It was almost, hardened, completely hardened. Couldn't, so the thing that we're talking about with this, and that it made it so true. I mean, we need to start documenting this stuff, I guess, because people just think we're crazy. We believe, World Watchman, I believe it, that our food supply, okay, is controlled by the government already. And I believe that these first products that come off assembly lines, whatever, warehouses, they're not labeled yet. And they're brought to these underground dumps and these underground cities first. And then their stock is rotated. And Will Watchman even believes, with this avocado scare the other day, in the sausage, the old-fashioned, the kielbasa sausage, pre-cooked. There were 2 recalls of that, one for metal pieces in it and another for listeria. He has a, kind of a, what do you call it, conspiracy theory concerning that, and I think I might have to actually realize that maybe it's true, Every time they have some kind of recall like that, you can expect the price to go up or something going on to fidget around with either the product and or the pricing. But I think that these things, especially with this million calf count that's dead, from these floods in the Midwest, he also thinks that, not only will that increase the price and, being able to get it a little harder. But I think they've all been transferred down in the bunkers, down in the tunnels. I think these products are brought down, brought down there. I have a lot of theories that go along with it. These lakes or these rivers that disappear overnight, these things that supposedly have whirlpools in them, and you just see the water draining away. I think that's, whoever's living down in the bunkers, their way of getting their water and storing it. And anyways. And so once these tunnels and these underground cities, once their stock is rotated, we get the outdated stock, okay? It is then put on the trucks. It is re-stamped or stamped something new on it. Because by the time we get these products from Walmart to our homes, I mean, the expiration date pretty close. So either they get them well before the expiration date, and just prior to it, they ship it back out and put it in the Walmart stores. I've noticed this with a few products. And this is the only one that I can, I could have proven factually by showing you. But in any case. Oh. Anyways, a lot of these things that are going on. That's just a story I wanted to tell you because it most definitely is happening. There are underground bunkers. There are underground tunnels. We have maps of them. Yep. We have maps, all kinds of maps. You got the Navy maps with the before and after pictures of what the United States will look like under some kind of flooding or great big tsunami, whatever it is. But they have, futuristic maps. And it actually shows that where I live might even be beachfront property when it all happens. Not that we'll be here before, not that we'll be here for all that, because, according to these pre-tribbers, we are going to be out of here before this great tribulation comes. So this so-called wrath of God that we're not pointed to, that they're labeling, that 7-year tribulation. So we will find out. Oh, so. Yeah, that's just my son trying to contact me about my car, but in any case, he'll have to wait. So let's get started with the news. I've already, 10 minutes into this program and already stepped on and off the soapbox. Talk a little about the weather first, and this is space weather here. This is from the Express Space Weather Forecast. A solar storm 2 hit today, causing stunning aurora borealis. This solar storm is expected to hit Earth today. Of course, they posted on the 27th, but they have a date on the bottom of the 28th. So, hey, today or tomorrow. All we know is we'll probably see a little bit more. I mean, it's been talked about a lot lately. Everyone is, beginning. There's a lot more people that are able to see this aurora borealis type thing, even where they are. This kid's not going to give up, is he? All right, hold on. I'm on the air. You're going to have to call back when I get done, please. Thank you. Didn't sound like my son, but that was definitely his phone. All right. Now that we have that on here. So, like everything, I'll leave you the links. This just, people are mixed, they won't be able to see it. It just shows the flare coming off the sun. And of course, if you want to, know about these things, you can go there as well yourself to Soho. To nasa.gov, or I think it's nasa.gov, Soho. Just go Google Soho, S-O-H-O. Used to do that a lot. And there are people out there that do these things, and put out these warnings, and that's what I'm doing here, putting out this warning for whatever. They're just talking about lights at the moment. In any case, today or tomorrow. And from the Watchers, Veronica. This is Australia. Remember those 2 cyclones coming at the same time, east and west? Well, Veronica dumps more than a year's worth of rain in less than 12 hours. My Lord. And they're going to need our prayers. Australia is being attacked. Yep. While the eye of tropical cyclone Veronica didn't cross the coast, heavy rainfall fell, strong winds hit, and the Pilbara coast of Western Australia. Heavy rains have now ceased. However, road conditions may remain hazardous today, and communities may be isolated as flooding. Everything's flooding. Warning. Telling you, man. The Lord is speaking to us. If you can't get, first it was the storm, the hurricanes, the whirlwinds there, okay? Earthquakes in diverse places, many of them, 6s, 7s. Volcanoes erupting one after the other. And where's the ash? Where's all the ash? We had one volcano go off in 1850, I don't know when it was, and that blocked the sun, stopped the growing of crops for at least a year. And we have multiple volcanoes that are, live right now. And others that are threatening to go off. Yeah. The earth is moving around for some reason. But where's the ash? We don't hear about any of this on mainstream TV. I don't even hear about it in alternative media. Where's the ash? I mean, is it so far up in the atmosphere that we're not going to worry about it? Because some of them do get up, in the 33, 30 plus thousand. I guess it's feet up or something like that. It's not miles; it's feet. But anyways, so the Filbert Coast and adjacent island areas, particularly around Marble Bar, on the back of the 1 in 100 year 24-hour total of 14.17 inches that was recorded upper North Pole in the 24 hours. Yesterday, more heavy rain fell in the 24 hours to 9 today. Upper North Pole recording a further 2.40 inches. Anyways, man. Yeah, how many times you going to hear about this, right? I mean, almost every day now, right? It is almost every day. Some places getting flooded, storms. Where's all this moisture coming from? I mean, okay, we can get into a lot of talks, like is there actually global warming or is it the opposite? Are the glaciers melting or are they not? Because though there may be melting going on from underneath, supposedly because of warmer waters, volcanoes under the oceans, becoming active. We have record amounts of surface ice, though. We've talked about this already. So I think it's Mother Nature and this planet is just trying to balance it. So who knows? Somewhere along the line, the ice on the top is going to be much heavier than the ice on the bottom, and it's just going to flip. It's going to flip, probably like it's done it before, and then you'll have, your normal icebergs as we know it. Just the top part is up out of the water, and the bulk of it is underneath, and it will continue to go through that routine. That's just my opinion. Don't know if that will factually happen, but it makes sense. But I'm not an iceberg expert. No, I'm not. Also from the Watchers, hailstorm destroys 4 million avocados in under 10 minutes in Australia. That's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if an oxymoron is the word for it. That was the recall that we had the other day, 2 days ago. All these avocados with this listeria. Now, coincidentally, I guess is the word for it, 4 million avocados gone by hail. So I guess you can say the price of avocados is going to go up. You got to find the humor in some of this, man. You just do. I mean, it's going to happen. These things happen. I mean, what the Lord said, have no fear. I don't have any fear. Well, I can't say I don't have any whatsoever. I might be a little concerned about, my family, unequally yoked as we are, not make it to everlasting life, be saved. Because they're a lot like me, or how I used to be, stubborn and unwilling to move. I kind of am very concerned sometimes about that. But I just pray on it, He does the calling anyway. Hope that they can answer. So, severe thunderstorm hits parts of New South Wales, Australia. Yeah. 14th. We're talking 2 weeks ago. And some of these dates, I got to check these things out. This seemed a lot newer. I do know that I don't know why they're saying March 14th. I mean, this may have been some. I thought I was talking about the two cyclones. Thought this was part of it, but apparently not. Man, I got to be careful about this. This Watches has been doing this a lot lately. In any case, cost of avocados is going up. Strange Sounds says that Violent flash floods changed streets into raging rivers in the Shiraz. That's in Iran, killing at least 18. Hundreds of cars swept away. No doubt. So at least 17 people, including 3 children, were killed. As many as 68 were injured in heavy flooding in the southern Iranian city of Shiraz on Monday. Yeah, so heavy rains resulted in flooding in the southern region around the city as well. Footage shows people being swept away by the tides as cars tried to maneuver through the flooded streets. Yeah, people are just, yeah, I think we are de-evolving. They are becoming stupid. And it may not be their fault. Not entirely, anyway. I mean, after all, they continue to spray something, whatever it is, in the air. That could be the problem. Between that and the fluoride in the water and, the food that we send to China to be pre-cooked, prepared. That's stuff that we eat because we're too tired after a full day's work or whatever. Some of these things are just cheaper, so we buy them that way. I think there's a good reason why it's cheaper and that you can afford it. I remember those Tyson chickens last week were recalled. You don't want to know how these things are prepared in China. Okay, it's just disgusting. All we need to do is pray over our food. Try, much as I can remember. I mean, sometimes I'm so hungry I just start womping down on the food. Well, I got a mouthful of food. That's oh no, I forgot to pray, and so I'm praying, Lord, bless this food that I am eating instead of before I eat. Yeah, so streets. Look at these streets, man. Let me go check. Check. See if I'm. Apparently, we are. Okay. All right. So more floods. Look at the cars. I mean, I could show you this video that I haven't seen yet. Oh man. You're talking people trying to hold on to the poles after they get out of their cars, and 4 or 5 of them just got swept away by another car bumping into that pole, and they just went down. They're not going to make it. These floods are so fast, so rough. Well, we just need to pray for these people, for all these people. We need to pray for the whole darn earth. Everything's going crazy. Everything's chaotic. Just the way the devil likes it. You know what? It's unfortunate, but in these times, we have people stand up the most. You see the good out of people. That's 8 minutes long, okay? 8 minutes, 40 seconds of cars going down these streets and people being carried with them. That's the reality of this. People, I mean, I do the news quite a bit. Sometimes it's, I may lack a little, what do you call it? Sympathy or something, you know what I mean? I'm not as sympathetic in my tone, but it's only because I watch it all the time. And it's not that I don't have it. It's just that I've seen a lot of it, and I don't know. But, other people watch it, and they think it's a darn movie. They think it's a trailer to some apocalyptic, whatever, biblical, whatever. And there is no sympathy. They don't have any. The Bible does speak about a time when people will be without natural affection. They will be a lot of bad things. Boasters, cheaters, robbers, killers, murderers, idolaters. I mean, you name it. That's what they're going to be. And that's what's going on. We're just in a time like no other. There's been no other time that we're going through right now that has ever happened. Yes, there may have been a 100-year storm tomorrow, okay, 100 years ago. The next day, there may be a 500-year storm that happens, and they've recorded it, and now they're going through it. But this is a time, these things happen almost every day. Every day, there is some kind of chaotic and severe weather going on. Yes, we're reporting it more. Yep, we got the web, everything goes faster. But no, it has not happened on this scale. With that, anyway. So those things continue to happen and will continue to happen. Birth pains, will keep going and will get stronger and will be more painful. Chaotic evacuations with emergency sirens blaring as the Missouri River rises to the top of 3-story high levee wall in St. Joseph, Missouri. Record floodwaters that submerge vast stretches of Nebraska and Iowa farmland along America's longest river reached a new crest on Friday. The waterfront city of St. Joseph, Missouri, forcing chaotic evacuations of thousands from low-lying areas. With emergency sirens blaring as the Missouri River rose to the top of 3-story high levee, about 55 miles north of Kansas City, Missouri. Sheriff's deputies rushed door to door, urging residents to flee to higher ground. And they got some maps from NOAA 2019 U.S. Spring Flooding Outlook. Another post. And there is a video, some headline here talks about what I thought I got one. Talk about all the grain that is gone now. This one, strange sounds, state of emergency in New Zealand. They've been going through some stuff, let alone the earthquakes that they have quite a bit down there. So they're going through some stuff there in state of emergency after a motorway bridge over the Wahoo River is washed away by a furious flash flooding. Take a look at the picture here. The bridge is just all bent out of shape. So it was washed away in a severe rainstorm on Tuesday, prompting authorities to declare a state of emergency and to close the 386 miles of road on the west coast of New Zealand's South Island. You know that there, I don't know, I haven't got an update, I don't think yet, but there are still, 23 to 26 states in the United States that have declared a state of emergency through all this weather that's been going on. And so anyway, the footage shown on local television and distributed on social media show part of the Wahoo Bridge. Yeah, they actually show it, but I don't have it. A big blank screen. Oh, here we go. So dramatic footage shows the bridge collapse in New Zealand. So I will show this for the people who are listening live at YouTube. Yeah, about half of the bridge gone. Okay, we've seen that. So if anybody wants to see more of it, they can always play it back when they go to the video. There were no reports of injuries. About 50 people, mostly tourists, were staying at a makeshift emergency center in a local hall to see out the storm. Goes on in New Zealand. They had some other problems the other day too. I forget what it is. Also from strange sounds, poisonous bufo toads. I guess it's bufo or, yeah, bofo. B-U-F-O, so I call it bufo. Okay? I'm American, that's how it sounds. B-U-F-O. Toads, poisonous, infest a suburban Florida neighborhood. People fear for their pets and children. Okay, parents, hold on everyone, parents, if you haven't been told already, keep your children inside. If you go out, if you have to go out, put on long pants, socks. They're just toads. They're not wild creatures. They won't attack you. May bite you, but if they can't do it if you have the pants on. Come on, parents. Yeah, I guess I'd, be a little concerned. Of course, I would be the sergeant. I would be out there looking for them and getting them out of the path of my children. Palm Beach Gardens neighborhood in Florida is being plagued by thousands of poisonous bufo toads. Residents in the infested suburb worry toxins secretly are secreted by the toads will harm their pets and children. Well, take care of it then. CBS Morning News. All right, hold on. I forgot to do something. Let me get it. Okay. So I gotta go get this copyright claim stuff. I think, put a news article out there, it's exclusive, and I have been copyrighted. Once I took a video, it was actually from a person that was in the car who took the video, but apparently they sold that video to a news network, and when I used it, I was flagged for copyright. First of all, because I didn't put the copyright warning like I am now, and I guess they have a right if they go and buy it. Didn't know that happened though. I'm sure somebody got a hold of it. Somebody else has been copyrighted as well, but not that I got in too much trouble for it. They were just able to put ads in it without my permission and collect money from that. See, they can monetize it anytime they want, but you don't follow the norm and the parameters that they set down and change on a whim, you will be targeted, demonetized. In any case, I've already went through that. I already had to. It was doing pretty well too. Had 2,000 subscribers, and thought the content was just what was going on, just the same thing I'm doing now. I don't get it. I'm not worried about it at all. I do write to Google once in a while. Try to get reinstated. So, let's talk about food shortage. The U.S. grain bins, okay, this is what I was talking about, collapse under catastrophic Iowa floods. So after millions of dead calves in Nebraska, now thousands of tons of grain lost in Iowa. Floodwaters are causing havoc in some Midwestern states, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Nebraska, and have resulted in an estimated $3 billion in damages so far. Video below by Iowa resident Gracie Newman shows just a fraction of the losses that have been incurred as a result of the unprecedented flooding. Yeah, this is one of these phone videos that I'm going to play for the sake of you all.
30,000 bushels.
30,000 bushels.
I thought it was high enough.
Damn.
Ah, damn it.
Just, wow, man. You know, these big silos just, I don't know how they can collapse like that.
You know how bad this is.
Or underneath. Wow, it's just it makes you feel small. You get put in your place. You understand humility when you're sitting out there on a boat, right? I mean, I have not sat out on a boat somewhere, okay, in a place like this that was flooded that is normally not. Normally there's land. I have not done that, but I've sat on lakes, you know, and watched houses on the shore, and I know the feeling of being on the water. You just feel. I like the feeling, the I don't know, the breeze, the water. It's just a calming effect, and then I don't even know what the heck I was trying to say. Can't imagine, you know, on a boat going around your town that's underwater. That you know, that is definitely a different feeling. Okay, and so I don't know why selected, but anyway, this is from OAN. That is One American News. Move on. Prosecutor who dropped Smollett charges given $400K by George Soros. And it's not what you think. So I'm just going to play it for 2 minutes, 19 seconds. And let you listen in. Hold on. Back it up a little bit. Okay.
Dropped all charges against actor Jussie Smollett. Received a massive donation from leftist billionaire George Soros. One America's Pearson Sharp has that report.
The shocking news that prosecutors dismissed the charges against actor Jussie Smollett for staging a hate crime against himself may not be so shocking after all. As it turns out, the radical left-wing billionaire George Soros made a huge contribution to a 2016 super PAC in support of state attorney Kim Foxx, the same attorney who suddenly dropped all 16 felony charges against Smollett. After the charges were dropped, conservative commentator Ann Coulter claimed it made sense because Fox was put there with a $400,000 donation from George Soros. Soros is known for dumping tens of millions of dollars into local district attorneys' races around the country, backing progressive and hard-left candidates who are soft on crime. Campaign finance records from Illinois reveal Soros donated $333,000 of his own personal money to Fox's super PAC and an additional $75,000 after she won.
Yeah, so I just want to mention this one thing. There's Soros, okay? There are a lot of people in a lot of countries that are looking for Soros to arrest him. At least that was, you know, been out there in the air, you know, been out there. He's right there giving a statement. Why isn't he being arrested? You know, I can go on and talk to you about Soros and his influences in the Ukraine as well, where the U.S. threatened the Ukraine with something, sanctions or something like that, if they, you know, probed anymore or started anything against Soros. So the U.S. is backing Soros. Who do you think went in there in these other countries, these smaller countries, and just basically created turmoil and turned these countries upside down? Yeah, his money, he knows he has plans. He wants to do it to the United States. That's what he's trying to do here. He is, you know, what do you call it? He is the action and the plan to turn America and the rest of the world into a one world government. And the Pope and his one world religion. Thank God, according to the pre-tribbers, we won't be here for that as well. I don't want to be here for that. I mean, things are crazy now, but you think I want to be around here for the one world government? Basically, communism for the world? Yeah. Universal income? All that stuff, man. Yeah. And making an image to the beast, AI? Who knows? Yeah, so 16 charges just dropped, man. That was a shocker. First this guy was, being accused of faking all this, and then next thing you know, he's being charged, with these 16 counts, and then next thing you know, poof, all gone. So there you go. Money, does make a difference. So why is he not, either one of them, why is Soros not being arrested for crimes against humanity? Not just, I'm not naming any particular governments that he's, tried to overthrow or create chaos in, including Venezuela and America. Let's move on. I'll leave all the links. This is from something called Nettle. Okay. Distributed by Chris. Can't pronounce his last name at the moment. He's a long-time brother. A couple years I've known him now. IRS goes after Ocasio-Cortez for failure to pay tax on failed business venture. Yeah, this is obviously a freshman Democrat, and I don't think that she might not even finish out her term. I have no idea. I mean, she's being accused of those other things about, I don't know, $1 million or so being transferred from one bank to another bank, and she's supposed to do some reporting, and she's whatever. She really, I don't think she knows what, I do know, it sounds like it anyway, that she has no idea what the heck she's doing. I think she's just a plant, her and Omar, to cause chaos in these particular branches. And it is Green New Deal. She doesn't even know, she was just told it. She doesn't know anything about it, how it's going to be paid, how it's going to be funded, how it works, technologies that we don't even know about now. Yeah, and we've only got 12 years to do it, or else we're all dead. It's just crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff, man. And of course, you can't, talk about the Democrats over there, demon rats, without mentioning Maxine Waters. She demands impeachment, despite the Mueller report exonerating Trump. Now, this is the woman that supposedly only gets $170,000 a year for, running at the mouth. I think it's $170,000, or was it $7 million for her house in her neighborhood? And she's into some property, real estate deals, if you want to call them that. I haven't really looked into that, so I'm not going to say any more until I do. How can you have a $7 million house on a $170,000 a year budget? Payroll. Hey, I guess you could. I mean, the loan will probably, be a few hundred. I don't know what it'd be. 100,000. Yeah, it can't be a month. Pretty high premiums. That's all I can say. Yeah, so she declares, we are well past the time and we should have considered impeachment. Blah, 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 blah. Did you ever hear this woman speak? Her, Cortez, Pelosi, and the other one, Warren. And Omar. You should hear Omar. Anyways, Maxine Waters is among an alarming number of liberals seemingly disappointed that the Russian probe proved their president wasn't a Russian target, as the Democratic congressman calls for Trump's impeachment, despite Mueller's report exonerating him. Yeah, well, he hasn't been exonerated yet. He's been exonerated for, collusion. But they're still looking into something else. And $40 million to do that. I mean, I think I think that they should have to pay for it. I think the whole branch should have to divvy up their money and pay a portion of that. I bet you they don't pay any of it. We're paying for it. $40 million for a 1,000-page whatever report, that nobody can see the whole thing of yet. Not that I know of. It's only been out in portions. Or what do you call it? Crib note type thing, Anyways. 1,000 pages, $40 million over a couple years to do what? To find out that you really can't impeach him because he hasn't really done anything wrong. So, yeah, the people who are involved in this investigation, who started it with fake reports to get these FISA reports, to get whatever, subpoenas or whatever they did to do that, that is totally illegal. Those people should be going to jail. Yeah, and I'm going to do some research. I keep telling people this, but I never do what I say. So, but I've heard about, you were talking about people going to jail. I heard about another jail that people don't know about. There's at least 2 or 3 of them in our country. They're called Little Guatemalans. They are a prison kind of like, you've heard us say that we're not under the Constitution and that we're under the Wars Power Act or whatever that is that Eisenhower signed in 1933 and was done over again in 1972, I believe, maybe even 1980s. Where we're under that type of thing. I'll have to go research that too and get that back up. I know I have it somewhere. I was reading it. Where, that's about what the Homeland Security and Patriot Act is anyway. It's, the ability of any form of government, police, FBI, whatever, those agencies can just do whatever they want to do. They can go arrest you for no reason whatsoever, put you in a dark cell, probably one of these 2 or 3 prisons, and they can torture you. They don't have to tell you why you're there, and they don't have to ever let you go. I heard this today from another YouTuber called, I think it's called In Plain Truth or something like that. Kind of sounds like the old Reverend Michelle Hawkins' man. Okay, kind of sounds like her. She was talking about these prisons and how one man who was actually a reporter, an investigative reporter, ended up being, taken down, and there was no charges for him. He was exonerated of charges that they tried to give him, the FBI in a state court, and so the state, withdrew the charges, and then he just disappeared into this prison. And there's actually a group out there. I don't know if it's his wife or his sister or whatever, trying to get him out, and I will keep you up to date on that. I'm going to research that later. Didn't have time to today, but didn't know about these prisons. I'm sure there's all kinds of things that we don't know about. People, slip out every now and then because they can't catch everything. Can't. I'm working on building a couple more. I don't build anything. I don't know anything about software, so I just buy the hardware and hope they can't track, whatever. But it's a time to start changing the VPN addresses and all this stuff and still be able to have, I got to talk to somebody about that, still be able to have IP addresses that these platforms will recognize. And, I'm just saying that I have one of those VPN software things where every time you go onto the net, you have a new IP address. The problem with that is that I need one that I can work with for a while and if that gets blocked or banned by certain platforms, then I want to be able to use the same hardware, but with a different VPN, different IP address, and keep being able to do that. I can't afford to keep buying hardware, computers and laptops and whatever, every time they block me, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to get back on. Because they won't let me get back on the one on my PC because that, 12 pine is blocked for no, reason whatsoever. They just did it. AI or whoever, and they won't let me back on. So you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do. So I need to talk to somebody technical about it, but I don't know anybody who has the technical background to that would help me. Yeah, so anyways, that being said, this one right here that I talked to you about, Washington told Ukraine to end probe into George Soros, the funded group during the 2016 U.S. election report. This source is from RT, Russian television, and I've already told you about that. What the U.S. told Ukraine during their elections, what not to do. Do not report George Soros. Also from Blacklisted News, U.S. killed at least 14 civilians in a country most Americans don't know the U.S. is bombing. I didn't know this either. The source of this is the mindunleashed.com. I got to write these new addresses down. So anyway, this new report from Amnesty International reveals that U.S. airstrikes from aircraft and drones have increased in Somalia, resulting in the deaths of at least 14 civilians. I am not sure what we're doing in Somalia. I know that we are in Africa. I know they have resources there. Gold, oil, diamonds, whatever. I believe Africa is a very rich minerally and otherwise, other resources. And there are a lot of countries over there trying to get them. So in any case, due to a literal blackout of all news related to the ongoing wars waged by the U.S. military, most Americans cannot name the nations in which the military is currently engaged in conflict or dropping bombs. And we don't know, people. We're not going to know. They're not going to put that on the web and say, here you go, for all to see. They're not going to put it on mainstream. No, that's out there just to appease those people in their bubbles and a different way of life. And it's not reality. It is a predicted programming. And that's why you need to get off TV, at least the majority of it. You need to get away from that device. Because we all know who is the Prince of the Air, right? Prince of the Air is, come on everyone, is Satan. From the end time headlines, Hamas officially claims Iran ordered rocket attack on central Israel. Because, earlier they did not know exactly who shot those rockets. So, Hamas, who was also, CARE, the Brotherhood in America, that CARE group that Omar, spoke at, that they all jeered, at. Anyways, then Iranians, they have their own problems in their own country. They have a lot of protests going on there too. A lot of Christians dying over there as well. And we all should know that. That was one of the biggest place for new converts to Christianity as well. They're also being highly persecuted. Yep. Excuse me. So a senior Hamas official, from the Jerusalem Post, speaking anonymously to Israel Haman on Tuesday, claimed that the rocket which struck the Moshav in central Israel on Monday was ordered by Iran. Hamas reportedly gave its blessing for the rocket attack in hopes of disrupting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's election campaign. The rocket attack on Mishmeret, which hit and destroyed a home, left 7 family members injured, including 2 infants, as well as a neighborhood child. He claimed that Iran went over the heads of Hamas leaders and ordered an Islamic Jihad cell operating out of the Gaza Strip to carry out the attack, while senior officials in both Egypt and Gaza confirmed that Iran had ordered the attack. They claimed that the Hamas leadership was aware of the plans to fire a rocket deep into Israeli territory. There you have it. All right, we're almost done here. Just a couple off the cuff from Never a Straight Answer NASA. NASA satellite crash. NASA sends radiation probes on fiery Earth descent after 6 years. So 2 NASA probes hurling through the Van Allen radiation belt. Okay, so there you have it. I mean, even NASA is admitting they have that Van Allen belt. The one that human beings can't get through because of the radiation. Because they haven't been able to build anything yet to protect the men inside. You know, most of these rockets and Apollo missions supposedly didn't go that high. They couldn't, because they would have to make the, I'm saying armor, I'm thinking armor, but the plating, had to have been a lot thicker in order for man to get through this Van Allen belt and come back and survive it. No, the things that we shot up there had to be light. I mean, you actually, as big as these rockets are, it takes a lot of power in these rockets and bigger rockets to get this kind of stuff up there. It's still heavy. But they had to make it lighter in order to get the rocket up. In any case, that's the moon thing. And even though Pence says that within the next 5 years we'll go back to the moon, okay, even though somebody else was, there was a 9-year talk about that, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I haven't even heard anything about that project that the ISS couple astronauts talked about, where they actually told us that man cannot get through the Van Allen belt, okay, which means we haven't gotten to the moon. Okay, not with man anyway. Man has not gotten to the moon. Now, we can send probes and machinery up there, but not humans. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that Orion mission that's supposedly going to be a test rocket or actually send the first human through this Van Allen belt. I don't know exactly the parameters of the Orion space flight, but still waiting. Unless they're doing it in secret. Maybe it's already happened, but should have. They've been talking about it for a while. So I do not see any video or anything on these 2 probes that NASA is sending back through Earth, through its atmosphere, to burn it all up. Now, these probes, the more recent ones, a lot of these probes, these satellites and all this other stuff, they have miniature nuclear power on them. Did you not know that? They're not powered by gasoline or liquid nitrogen or whatever, they're using. I've heard. Yeah. Any case, that's another subject that we could talk about too. Where's all the radiation from all the thousands, and I mean thousands, of nuclear tests throughout the years from 1947? I have a map that shows that from 1947 to 1999, all the nuclear tests, okay, that happened around the world. And it's a pretty good time-lapse thing. Mentions a few countries: France, Pakistan, India, China, us. In any case, where's all that radiation? Where's all the ash? Where's all the ash? So NASA's twin Van Allen probes will spectacularly, yeah, say that 3 times, burn up in the Earth's atmosphere when they are gradually dragged down towards the planet. Yeah, gravity. Probe's mission has come to an end after 6.5 years of exploring an increasingly hazardous area of space known as the Van Allen Belt. The Van Allen Belt is an area of charged particles and radiation inside the Earth's inner geomagnetic field, okay, inside our little shell. NASA's Hardy space probes have explored this region of near-Earth space since 2012. And of course, you know that they got that mini space shuttle. Remember that one? I mean, it's big enough to where 3 men could walk around it with space suits and to, take data out of it. I mean, that thing has been, you've seen it a couple times on the ground with people monitoring it under quarantine type conditions. And they're not talking about, not a whole lot about it. But I don't know. You figure with all this top secret emails and such being sent open air to everyone who wants it, we would actually find out about that. I would really like to know what that mini space shuttle, what it actually is doing. But it's top secret. All right. This is not what I got this for. Here's a little video here. This is from the Express as well. I got it here for NASA Hubble Telescope. Okay, space agency releases 2 incredible new photos of distant galaxies. I find that fascinating, but boy, I wish I could get closer. I just sometimes wish that I could just, in a dream, it would have to be a dream, either that or a spiritual body, right? Just float around in space and go visit these galaxies, kind of, as if you're flying into them and going in and out of the stars. I don't know, man. I think about that a lot. I know I'm pretty crazy, but I do think about those things. I mean, he put him there for a reason, and I think that we're all, who are found worthy anyway, are going to be or have jobs. I've also actually had a dream, and I don't know, it could have been watching some kind of sci-fi picture, but I actually had a dream as well that I was picked up, or I was walking onto the bridge of a spaceship. Yeah, and it was kind of like Star Trek, only so much bigger. I mean, the viewing screen that you could see out was just huge compared to Star Trek ones. And I saw a little panel on the front, and because I was kind of looking for where my room would be, I thought I was just a more or less like a observer, and I was going to get this little teeny puny room off to the side somewhere. I was just hoping to get a window, and I knew, that I was so very small in this, whatever was going on, some kind of exploration. And then next thing you know, they pointed me to my room. I asked my room, they pointed to it. It was more up to the front, to the right-hand side. But the room, it was like suite. It was huge. And I'm saying, that can't be my room. No way, man. You must have got this wrong. I'm just the observer. And while other people were looking at me, as I looked up to look at them, they kind of smiled at me. I don't know. So I felt that I was kind of there for something a little bit more than just being a spectator. And I was kind of being, I don't know, I don't have visions of grandeur. I do not. But I just felt like I expected to be there. I was, had my humility and meekness on, and I wasn't expecting anything else. But for some reason, I was a very important part of this mission. Whatever mission that was, I had no idea. And that was basically about the end of the dream. I saw where my room was. I looked at them. They looked at me. We smiled a little bit, and just felt comfortable. I don't know. Weird stuff. That happened, at least a year ago. Don't know what it meant. Like I said, could have been watching some Star Trek movie or something and got that in my head. I don't know. Kind of weird. So leave that link there for these new pictures. But there's also here, they got this McDonald's. Furious customer screams at staff. Yeah, this is what the morality, since the 1990 has just de-evolved to. I don't even know if you're going to be able to hear it very well, but.
Call the police. You honestly call the police today. Second time round, you guys give me a non-wage bill. Who do you think you guys are? Don't give me one fortunate crap. How can you do it wrong the second time round? Who do you think you guys are? You got the, I'm telling you, no. Why would I calm down? Second time round, no. Everyone got to listen to the kind of service you guys provide. I haven't, no. No, I'm
Yeah,
not
other
going
people.
anywhere.
Other people are laughing, thinking it's funny. It's no joke. It's freaking sad that this guy would actually go off on a McDonald's, worker because they got their order wrong, not just once. And like he said, they got it wrong twice. But there's no reason to lash out like that. The person was so, probably so afraid of this guy. He's got an accent. I don't know where this was taken, but I don't know. It's just, this is the crazy stuff that we got to listen to. And man, I just want Jesus for everyone, man. It just would be so much better. We can actually have life more abundantly if we just all believed and honestly in our hearts tried to do the best things every day for everyone. It would not be like this. It would actually be life more abundantly, right? And also from the Express, deep sea mystery. Researchers entered alien world. What they found left them stunned. I've seen many pictures of these underwater rovers. I don't know, SOVs or something like that. These things that go so deep. I even seen some go down, try to get down in the Mariana Trench, the deepest part in the. I don't know if maybe it's the Pacific. But anyway, yeah, you're going to find some strange things down there. And, this little video does show you some strange looking things, man. One looked like a fish that actually had a luminescent brain, and you could see the eyes. And the guy says,
ocean is as
what the fish?
squid, but this is one that lives only here. Its right eye looks permanently downwards, but its left eye is much bigger and trained upwards to detect the silhouettes of prey swimming nearer the surface.
And that's a squid. Here's the fish.
A
See, it's
fish
got
with a transparent head filled with jelly so that you can look up through its skull.
Yeah, my question is that, this fish, I don't know, kind of looks like a half porpoise or, dolphin. And, I don't know, kind of looks, kind of like a dolphin, but different, a little bit different with its see-through jelly-like gelatin see-through head that's kind of glowing. It's got his eyes and the sockets kind of inside this jelly stuff. But why he would say he needs that to look up? Why? He can't look down or left and right? I don't know. Some of these things can, I guess. Just different life. We, some of these people claim that we know more about Mars than we do about our own oceans. And that's true. Why haven't we searched our oceans? Sure, the military or the government has, but they won't tell you some of the things that they found down there, that's for sure. But with that, people, we're done. I know I talked too much. I apologize for that. We could probably get this news done in 30 minutes instead of an hour without me talking. And reliving my dreams and desires for everyone. But with that, it's excuse me, it's only Wednesday. Ever since I stopped that second shift, man, the weeks of 2 weeks now gone by a little slower. But they want me to do a dining room. That's going to have to be that shift too. Anyways, that's it. God bless you all. Have a great evening. I will see you Friday unless something happens. I'm still working on some things because I don't know. I wish I could get some commentary, and I'm just going to make some videos. It's not going to be really news. It'll probably be just one subject or two and just get into depth, with those things. I think people are get a lot of news here, but it goes by so quick. So that's basically what I'm just doing here. I'm just giving you the headlines and some updates, giving you a comment or reading 2 sentences. And then if you're interested, you could just go look into the video, look at the links that takes me, a little bit of time to put in there, and just go right to the link. There you go. You can have the whole story and read all about it. That's the kind of format we have here. It normally works. But in any case, God bless you all. I always wish many blessings for all of you. With that, everyone, keep your family close. Forgive them. Don't take offense. Don't give offense. Let's try to be nice to each other because the rest of the world isn't. Let's show them the light and the salt of the earth. I mean, this is what Jesus came here change to make his mark and show us the way so that we can be that and turn this darkness upside down so that evil isn't good and good isn't evil in their eyes, and it actually turns around the right way. And that's one little hope that I have. God bless everyone, and peace out.